Your speaking test requires a number of things that will help to guarantee a high performance. Number one, if you really want to have a good performance in your speaking test, you need to have 101% confidence. 101% confidence. Do not go for your speaking test with high level of tension. We understand, or I understand, that going to meet someone you don't know or you've not met before, there will be this level of nervousness. Because you'll be asking yourself, what kind of personality will this person display? Who will I meet? Is he a man or a woman? Will the person be accommodating? Will the person be jovial? All those factors will play out. But it is important that you know and be prepared that what would guarantee your good performance in your speaking test is that your confidence. So go in with your confidence 101%. Secondly, when you are speaking, don't speak too fast and do not be sluggish. Maintain a very stable speaking pace. You might want to speak sluggishly so that you buy time, since you know that it will last for 10 to 15 minutes. You are not trying to speak very sluggishly, to buy time. It will be recorded against you that you cannot engage in person. It will be recorded against you that you don't have enough vocabularies to sustain or retain conversation. So, and do not speak too quickly. Don't be too fast when you speak. So you don't exhaust your points very quickly and you are out of idea. That will also tell against you. So just maintain a very stable speaking pace. Another thing you have to understand that will help you to have a very nice speaking performance and experience is be very fluent. Be fluent. So don't begin to bring in all those natural fillers. They will affect your performance. It's important you can use natural fillers, but don't overuse them. Use them when necessary, but be fluent. Another thing you have to consider when you're having your speaking test is keep eye contact with the person you're talking to. Maintain eye contact. If you're a shy person, or you're for you. Right? Of course, coming from Africa, we have a little disadvantage. What is that disadvantage? We are trained not to look at people in the eyes when we are talking, right? And then, Ielts is not an African exam. It is an English exam. So the English believe that when you are talking to them, you should look at them. Through your eyes, they can tell if what you're saying is true. From your eyes, they can tell if you're serious about what you're saying. By looking into your eyes, they can tell you if you are confident or lying or nervous. So you have to walk around coming from a background that says do not look at people when you are talking because it's disrespectful. So how would you manage it? Begin now to build that confidence. Keep eye contact. This does not mean that you should just station your eyes at the person. That's not what it means. It simply means look at the person when you're talking. You are free to look leftwards, rightward, upward, but do not look downward. So when you're talking, you are like, thank you for this opportunity, but I know that over time, people have actually done so much, and I know that it's actually quite fascinating. You see the way I'm looking around, I'm still coming back. So nobody's saying fix your eyes at the person. No. You can always look leftward, rightward, upward, and then come back to the person. But never look downward. That's negative. Another thing you want to also understand when you're having your speaking test is always confirm the question before you begin to speak. Always confirm the question. How do you confirm a question? You can simply paraphrase that question to the examiner to inquire if that's what the person meant. Do you understand this? So you need to do this to be sure that what you heard is exactly what the person said. So you don't begin to speak out of point, because once that happens, you've lost it. Right? Always be sure that you heard what was asked correctly before you begin to speak. Another thing you want to also prepare your mind for is you have the right as a test taker to request a rephrasal or a repeat of any question that's unclear to you. You have the right.
You tell the person to rephrase or just say that sorry, I didn't get what you said. Or
If I want to ask an examiner to repeat what he or she has asked or said initially or previously, I will simply say, could you please rephrase that question in a simpler way?
okay.
Do you understand this? So examiner would repeat the question or rephrase the question. So you have the right. Ask. Now, you also have the right as a test taker to request a moment to think about a question asked. You have the right to request some seconds to think about the question asked. How do you do this? When a question is asked or posed and you feel this question is a heavy one, you probably say, if this is a heavy one, simply tell the person, could you please spare me a few seconds to think about this? This can only happen when you have the confidence. But if you are tensed, you won't even. Yes, we know. It's not going to be used against you.
Could you give me a few seconds to process this?
Yes, to think about it or to ponder over this. Right? Another thing you can do as a test taker is use vocabularies while you're speaking. Use good, sound, advanced vocabularies while you speak. And when you're using those vocabularies, of course, you know I'm referring to synonyms to avoid repetitions, to avoid repeating same words over and over. So use vocabulary synonyms. And when you're using synonyms, do not forget that if a question is posed from a particular sector of human endeavor, you are expected to use the terminologies of that particular sector when speaking. A person cannot ask you to talk about a trip that you embarked on, and you begin to say, well, philosophically speaking, it is very, very meticulous for you to use some sanitation out. You are bringing some health-related terminology to talk about tourism. It doesn't make sense. So ensure you're using the right terminology for each particular section where the question was thrown from. Then when you're also speaking, it is very important you speak audibly. Be audible because the conversation will be recorded. And this is very important because there are situations when speaking test results will be out and the test taker feels that this score is way below my performance. So I want to file for a remark. And for that remark to take place, the recorded version of your previous test will be given to a different examiner to re-evaluate.
When they send you results, you can request for a remark.
Yes, of course. You can. So you can request a remark of any of the modules. You can remark your speaking, you can remark your writing. But listening and reading, I don't advise people to remark them because answers are fixed. If you actually heard right, then you write it. Yes, there are factors, there are conditions for the remark. It's not free. You pay for it. But if the remark comes out and your results increases, your money will be refunded. But if it remains the same, the money is gone. But rest assured, the mark never drops below what you have seen. It either remains the same or it increases. Do you understand?
It's better we pay than it increases now.
Okay, but before you apply or file for a remark, be very confident about your performance. Be sure you did well. Then, when you are also speaking, it is important you engage the examiner. Be quite relatable.
I was about Africa. What if the conversation is now? This one you can talk for Africa, like question now end up being boring.
Yes.
So,
but you, in as much as a test taker might be a talker, right? by default, naturally, the person is a talker. Don't forget that you are there on a mission. Ielts test. Not going there to start gisting about what happened yesterday, how your friend bought kulikuli and did not give you a hug. Right? So you really need to be be conscious of the purpose that is taking you there. So you don't speak in the balaboo. It will be very disastrous. Okay, so this and during your speaking test, please not form accent too. Don't start what you cannot finish. Maintain your natural way of speaking. But ensure that your grammar, your pronunciations are okay. Ensure you are using the right dictions, the right words to express yourself. Ensure your sentences are accurate.
What we are calling zero. Zero, zero. There's a different pronunciation for zero. And zero.
Yes, they know, they understand. They understand. Right? There are things you should work on and there are things you should improve on. Improve on your mother tongue accent or interference. You don't go there and start telling the person, well, and you are told to talk about a trip you embarked on. And you are like, well, my name is Rita. I landed in Lagos from London 2 days ago. That's a fact. You are supposed to manage that R and L factor. You cannot go there and say, my friend's name is Shidima. She went to show and she was not shouting everywhere, shouting. So examiners will know that this is Yoruba. So you need to manage all those factors. Right? Don't go there and you want to start sounding and you cannot maintain it. If you cannot maintain it, don't start it. I always tell people, borrow a leaf from the Indians. Have you heard an Indian speaking? They don't try to form anything. They are just natural. And that's what you need. An Indian will tell you, God bless you, namaste. Just a little time I will be there. God bless you. You will dance for us. They speak as if they are swimming, But it goes as far as you are communicating. Don't go there and start blowing grammar that you need to start explaining before examiner will understand you. Like our brother, Honorable Patrick, he will tell you, in the political peripheral, it is very, very crinkle crankle for the hiki haga to go. What are you saying? The person will not understand you. So use advanced words that are very precise, right? That's what is very important. So these are things you really need to hold on to when you are speaking. I can assure you, if you work on yourself and take cognizance of all of these factors I've highlighted and go there very bold, your speaking test will be one of your highest scores in your IELTS. So it's just very easy. Just prepare your mind. 2 things you have to go to your speaking test venue with are your international passport, the original international passport that you used to register for the exam, and a pen or a pencil. These are the 2 things you need to take to the exam hall.
I listened to one video speaking on YouTube. They asked him, the interviewer was saying, this is your question, like your reference number. What does it mean by the reference number? To identify the person.
No, when you register for IELTS, there is really reference number.
And it's sent to you, right?
Yes. So you receive that. Was the person asked to say his or reference number?
No, the person who's interviewing was saying it.
Giving it's just confirmation. It's called formality, preamble before.
So you have to know it.
You don't really need to know it, but they will have your information before you arrive. Okay. And you also receive your information after your registrations. Okay. Do you understand? So these are things you just need to know. All right, thank you so much.